notes from my November 2024 reading of a 2019 autobiography of Elton John. I'm filming this Tuesday, 26 November 2024. I previously did just a book notes on this book, and now I've come back and read it. So here I talk through my book and reading notes from my November 2024 reading of an autobiography on music artist Elton John. Me by Elton John, 2019 First United States of America edition, hardcover, ISBN in the video description. Henry Holt and Company. Okay, I need to put that in the video description. Publisher. Okay, and I started the book on Friday, 22 November 2024 and finished the book yesterday on Monday, 25 November 2024. It's 375 pages, including the About the Author section. It took me 4 days. I read 90 pages Friday, 90 pages Saturday, 30 pages Sunday, and 175 pages Monday. So in addition to multiple movies, it's been a lot. Okay, it's a public library copy. This was one off the shelves, RB, Richmond Beach. And last introduction note, growing up in the Elton John and Elvis pairing, my mom had a preference for Elton John while her mom had a preference for Elvis. Okay, book notes including construction and design. So I've done that previously, so you can check that book out if you want, or like not the book, the video. I'm not going to link to it though, but I'll link to some playlists on this channel. It's like medium font, 1 to 1.25 spacing, Elton John, the name of the man on the even, up with the even page numbers, and then the name of the book, me, with the odd page numbers. There's 3 sections of photos, and there's a section for photo credits when it's not from his own collection. Yeah, and breaks and paragraphs come with a star. I like the cover, and the back cover. There were typos, so this is something that previously I gave the book 5 stars. I'm going to give it 4 stars this time, and typos endured. Mostly misspelled words. They were kind of, so he wrote the book to be very clever and smart, you know, with his word choice and phrasing and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, it required a lot of attention. And then there'd be a typo, and it'd be like through or though. So like the one letter different and they're different words. So I'd have to read the sentence multiple times and be like, okay, he's being clever with his wording though. So is this though, or is this through, right? So it would actually, because of how the book was crafted, the typos required, it wasn't quite like a, oh, there's a typo. It was like a, oh, let me reread that a few times and decide on if that's really a typo. So it was actually like, and it wasn't like a bunch, but it was like persistent throughout, and it would be like big interruption to the flow, reading flow would be, so they were a little bit different in that sense. Yeah. So this is my book and reading note, or book notes including construction design. And I like that it was hardcover. Yes. Okay. Reading notes. So essentially the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s were an era of heartbreak in the music industry, including in theme and song names. Elton John was a restoring force for love, and he broke through with music about love, including songs like Your Song and Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So, you know, when heartbreak was a theme, and he's like, well, let me just address that. I'm not that. I'm Don't Go Breaking My Heart. You know? And so perhaps the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s heartbreak era stemmed from social movements of the time, in the sense of, you disrespected me, now I'm going to break your heart. And reading through this and thinking through it. Yeah. Also noting it was a true era in that it was many artists propagating the cultural theme of heartbreak as opposed to just one person. One still famous song from that time is Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis. In terms of his career progression, Elton John, he went performance in a band, I think it was Bluesology, then took off with songwriting and later added in performance again, at least is the best I could tell, or that was the emphasis. I do not know of anyone in my lifetime to take off in the music industry like he did. I was born in the early to mid 1990s. So the notes I wrote down. I have a short book to read after this one, and I might not do the markers. I'm gonna just do what I write down. Okay. Wrote down because I'm reading what I wrote down. There we go. Page 3. So there was Heartbreak Hotel. There was also by Long John Baldry. Let the Heartbreaks Begin, or not heartbreaks, sorry, Heartaches Begin. And then there was somewhere in here he actually brings up, like, somebody releases one song and then there's like a big, a bunch of people set stuff out in the same tone. Page 9, he did meet Elvis Presley. His mom introduced, and that was actually a recurring one, is his mom interacted with Elvis or made comment on Elvis and stuff. Okay, page 23. He says he was a late developer when he came to sex. I think he was like, he didn't develop his libido until he was like 21. So, that's closer to I'm an asexual. He's homosexual. I would say probably closer to that than like the heterosexual want to have sex as a 5-year-old kind of thing. Oh, he does a good one. So he gets really involved in a football club, and he at Watford. I have to think at least one musical artist has copied another British. But here's a good how he feels about his football club. It was like taking a drug to which you instantly became addicted, unquote. So he loves music, but he also loves soccer, football, not European football, soccer, the actual football. Okay. All right. At 59, he gives the age that he was at 21, delayed adolescence, kind of inspiring sexual identity. Okay. Page, and it being less awkward and stuff. Okay, page 74. He said Elvis, so Elvis Presley, was okay, I'm going to quote, I suppose it all went back to chancing on that photo of Elvis and the Barbers in Pinner when I was a kid. I liked that sense of shock, of seeing a star who made you wonder what the hell was going on, unquote. I think for me, there's only one musical artist in my lifetime that's done that for me, and that was also British, but not Elvis, but like Elton John, he's British. LaRue. I even got like the little baby mohawk hairdo that she got. Like and that's the only musical artist I've ever done that for. Yeah. Okay. Page, but I do have one. All right. Some people don't have that, and I do actually have that one. That was back in. That was like 2000 00 decade, 2010. That 2010 and before, kind of. Okay. Anyway, page 103. Oh, people are like, in terms of talking about stuff, a bunch of people are talking about like the big, going forward or whatever, and he's like just concerned with what he's going to be wearing during a performance. He's like very in the moment. He lives in the present instead of getting kind of stuck in a future framed mindset and then can't enjoy the present. Page 125. It was a part of his life where he felt he needed to be in the presence of other human beings, and he calls it incredibly immature, unquote, because before that, or I could quote the whole thing. There was no solitude, no reflection. I had to be with people. I was incredibly immature, unquote. Yes. I've been through that. I went through that actually in my late teenage years. So in that sense I was lucky. But yeah, part of healthy cognitive development is learning up here. And yeah, but I was like, he's a good one. Elton John in terms of mental capacities and development. And he's sharing it. So thank you, Mr. Elton John. Okay, page 131. YouTube. He brings up YouTube. Actually, I think it was 3 times he names YouTube in this book. But one of those was on page 131. It might have been more, but I remember 3. So that was one of them. I wanted to do that once. Page 134. He had security guards that he dressed in a lilac color. Lilac is like a light purple. Page 229. oh, he wrote a letter to somebody and he includes it in the book. And he says, quote, "I'll ignore you and leave immediately," unquote, if he sees the person. And was like, you know, I might have felt like that in the past, but I don't actually take that stance, and I haven't ever said that or anything like that because I don't want somebody that I hate that much to control my physical movements like that. Okay, page 250. He talks about The Lion King being, so he wrote music for The Lion King. Was it Hakuna Matata? And they're talking about adapting it into a Broadway play or stage performance, and he's like, they can't do that. Like, I just can't see that. And then somebody comes along, the director Julie Taymor, and, you know, does like, oh, no, it is possible, and it looks great. It's a reminder of sometimes we need people who have a different skill set to show us that, no, yeah, look at that. And it can be done, and it doesn't look bad. Okay, page 263. He does confirm that the entertainment industry, individuals in the entertainment industry these days, so the book was published in 2019, do get media training. They did not when he was kind of taking off and stuff. So that has been a change. No wonder it's so canned and fake and there's so much misinformation these days. All right, page 299. Oh, he brings up, so Great Britain, 2005 was the year that legal marriage for same-sex couples. Same-sex couples, meaning like male, female, could get married. It became allowed legally in 2005. And then, page 328, he married his partner David in December 2014. I think was there a partnership that there was something with like News Cruise and stuff closer to the 2005, if I remember, or maybe that was that wedding, the 2014 one. Okay, and then last note, or no, again, what? Page 336. You quote, "You don't achieve anything by cutting people off," unquote. Actually, I found that can be when I'm most productive, if I lock myself in a room and film a video, for example. Okay, and then the last thing, I guess, page 375, it's not paginated, it's 375, but it actually brings up that he's had 26 gold and 38 platinum or multi-platinum albums and 1 diamond album. So, if one is concerned about making a hit, there is an alternative business model. Make as many albums as possible. Right. Yeah. So there we go. There's a notes. In conclusion, those are my notes from my November 2024 reading of a 2019 autobiography of Elton John. I marked full book number 65 for me for the 2024 year, and I revised my rating of this item from 5 stars to 4 stars for the typos. Thank you for joining me. And I am Tanis Corley Leonardi Shooter Hers OCN.